Committee on Education on a matter of national concern regarding the untimely closure of the Higher Education Loans Board help loans application system. In the statement, the committee should address the following issues. Reason for the closure of the Higher Education Loans Board help loans application system at a time when many students and just acquired their national identification ID cards, thereby locking out a significant number of eligible applicants. 2. Whether the Ministry of Education could consider reopening the system for a further 14 days to avail to the students who were left out an opportunity to apply for loans. Strengthen to ensure just critical system is continuous outlining measures the ministry intends to put in place to ensure predictability, accessibility, and fairness to all students. Senator for Embu County, Dr. Alexander Munyimondigi.
Senator for Nairobi City County, the Honorable Edwin Sifuna.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I have two statements. With your kind permission, I would request that I take both of them at once. The first one, Honorable Speaker, is on the increase in TVET fees. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Education on a matter of national concern regarding the steep increase in fees paid to technical and vocational education and training institutions. Mr. Speaker, sir, while the government has indicated a willingness to scale back on fees paid by university students, the opposite has occurred in technical and vocational education and training institutions. On average, fees have sharply increased from Kenya shillings 67,000 per year to Kenya shillings 35,000 per module, translating to approximately Kenya shillings 105,000 every year. As a vital source of middle-level technicians and experts, TVET institutions play a critical role in the labor market. Pricing out students from these institutions risks severely undermining this important sector and, by extension, the country's workforce development. In the statement, therefore, the committee should address the following. Number one, the justification for the sharp increase in TVET fees at a time when economic pressures have necessitated a reduction in university fees. Secondly, the reasons for the delays in disbursement of TVET Higher Education Loans Board loans in contrast to the timely release of loans to their university counterparts. Thirdly, Honorable Speaker, the safeguards that the ministry has put in place to protect needy students from the burden of the sudden increase in TVET fees. The second statement, Honorable Speaker, is on the status of Karura Forest. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Land, Environment and Natural Resources on a matter of national concern regarding the current status of Karura Forest. Mr. Speaker, Karura Forest is one of the few remaining urban forests in the country and the continent. It serves as one of the vital lungs of this great city, providing clean air, while also playing a critical role as a recreational hub for residents and visitors alike. However, the protection of this invaluable resource has become a matter of urgent importance and concern, as the forest currently faces threats from prospective developers, management disputes, and individuals seeking to exploit its resources for personal gain. In the statement, the committee should address the following issues. First, Honorable Speaker, we need an updated map of Karura Forest indicating the exact area under vegetation and areas that have been cleared, detailing the circumstances under which such sections of the forests were cleared. Secondly, details of the income and expenditure relating to the joint account managed by the Kenya Forest Service and the Friends of Karura Forest, with a view to ascertaining the benefits accrued in management of the forest through this partnership. Thirdly, the sustainability of the Community Forest Association model in forest management, including whether the agreement between KFS and the Friends of Karura Forest will continue to be honored in the management of Karura Forest. Lastly, Honorable Speaker, the measures in place to safeguard the forest or any sections of it from encroachment or illegal acquisition by private developers. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Senator for Tharaka Nithi County, the Honorable Mwenda Gataya.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53.1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Land and Environment and Natural Resources on a matter of nationwide concern regarding the improper waste disposal practices in this country. Mr. Speaker, sir, improper wastage disposal means a major environmental and public health challenges across both the urban and rural areas. In many cases, waste is dumped in uncontrolled sites and open spaces. This practice poses significant health risk, environmental degradation, and undermines the country's effort to achieve the sustainable development goals. In this regard, Honorable Speaker, the committee should address the following: the budgetary allocation per county for the financial year 2025-2026 towards waste management and infrastructure and practice in both urban and rural areas. The mechanism in place to ensure effective enforcement of waste management as provided for in the Environmental Management and Coordination Waste Management Regulations, Real Notice number 121 of 2006, whether there are some existing or planned county programs aimed at promoting public education and policy awareness on proper waste disposal. The committee should also try to look at the measures being taken to ensure that waste management infrastructure is adequate, efficient, and accessible to all communities. The committee should also look at whether there are collaborations or partnership with other stakeholders, including international agencies, the private sector, and civil society organizations to support waste management initiatives. On our second statement, Honorable Speaker, this is on the construction of a stadium in Tharaka Nithi County. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53.1 to seek assessment for the Standing Committee on Labor and the Social Welfare on a matter of county-wide concern regarding the construction of a stadium in Tharaka constituency, Tharaka Nithi County. Mr. Speaker, sir, stadia are essential for community developments as they nurture local talent, provide recreational and professional opportunities, boost economic activity, and foster unity and a sense of pride. In the Tharaka Nithi County, however, the Tharaka constituency remains the only without a stadium. Unlike Chuka, Mangombe, which with the Kirobia, and the Mara with the Kaironi Stadium, residents here must rely on school playgrounds for training and the competitions. This has resulted in limited talent development, denying the community opportunities to host national, regional events and constrain both social and economic growth. In the statement, Honorable Speaker, the committee should look at whether there are plans to construct a stadium in the constituency, and if so, the projected timeline for its completion. The committee should also provide the budgetary allocation and the funding strategies, if any, that have been earmarked for construction of the proposed stadium and how this aligns with the ministry's broader strategy for sports development and community infrastructure. The interim measures being undertaken to address the sporting and recreation needs of the youth and the community in the Tharaka constituency, whether there are plans to engage or collaborate with the private sector partners in the construction and development of the proposed stadium. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. This is Senator Mwenda Gataya, CBS MP, Senator for Tharaka Nithi County, today, September 2025. Thank you.
Before I call the next senator, allow me to make this communication, Honorable Senators. Now, Honorable Senators, as you may recall, at the sitting of the Senate held on Tuesday, 5th of August 2025, the temporary Speaker, Senator Hilary Sigei, MP, communicated a message from the National Assembly on the passage by the National Assembly on the Equalization Fund Appropriation Bill, National Assembly Bills number 21 of 2025. Thereafter, the temporary Speaker allowed honorable senators to make comments on the message. While contributing to the message, the Senator for Kakamega County, Senator Dr. Boni Halwale, MP, made comments in reference to the speakers of the House of Parliament, specifically Senator Dr. Boni Halwale MP stated as follows: unless the Speaker of the Senate has either abdicated his responsibility, he is in connivance, or he has decided to learn the bad manners of the Speaker of the National Assembly, who has reduced himself to an agent of the United Democratic Party, UDA, running around. This prompted the Senator for Bungoma County, Senator Wafula Waholi, MP, to rise on a point of order pursuant to Standing Order 105 to require Senator Dr. Boni Halwale MP to substantiate the statement pursuant to Standing Order 105.1. Honorable Senator, Standing Order 105 states as follows: a senator shall be responsible for the accuracy of any facts that the Senate alleges to be true and may be required to substantiate any facts instantly. Further, Standing Order 105.2 states as follows: if a senator has sufficient reason to convince the Speaker that the senator is unable to substantiate the allegations instantly, the Speaker shall require that such senator substantiate the allegations not later than the next sitting day, failure to which the senator shall be deemed to be disorderly within the meaning of Standing Order 121, unless the senator withdraws the allegations and gives a suitable apology. At the sitting of the Senate held on Tuesday, 5th of August 2025, Senator Dr. Boni Halwale MP was not able to substantiate his statement as required under Standing Order 101 or 105.1. The senator consequently sought the indulgence of the temporary Speaker for more time to provide the evidence at the next sitting day in accordance with Standing Order 105.2. Having acceded to the request, the temporary Speaker, Senator Hilary Sigei MP, directed that the senator substantiate the allegations at the next sitting day. Honorable Senators recall that at the subsequent sitting held on Wednesday, 6th of August 2025, the Deputy Speaker invited Senator Halwale MP to table the evidence in support of his claim made on Tuesday, 5th of August 2025, pursuant to Standing Order 105.2. Thereupon, Senator Halwale MP proceeded to table a flash disk drive containing 3 video clips as evidence to substantiate his claim. Following the tabling of the evidence by Senator Dr. Halwale MP, the Deputy Speaker undertook to review the matter and give a ruling at a later date, as it was not possible to do so then. Now, Honorable Senators, ordinarily, the obligation on the Speaker in such matter is to review the evidence tabled, determine the admissibility, establish whether indeed it verifies the claims made, and finally, to rule on whether, accordingly, the threshold under Standing Order 105 has been met. However, after going through the Hansard for Tuesday, 5th of August, 2 fundamental issues arise that require my determination in this instance. First was Senator Dr. Boni Halwale's statement in order within the context of the debate at hand. Second was the point of order by Senator David Wafula MP for substantiation valid. Now, Honorable Senators, with respect to the first issue, whether the comments by Senator Dr. Halwale were in order, I draw your attention to Standing Order 101, with particular reference to Standing Order 101.4, which states as follows: no senator shall impute improper motive to any other senator or to a member of the National Assembly, except upon a specific substantive motion, of which at least 3 days' notice has been given, calling in question the conduct of that senator or member of the National Assembly. In jurisdictions similar to that of the Parliament of Kenya, imputing improper motive on a member of Parliament refers to accusing a fellow member of acting out of malice, influence from others, bribery, or for personal gain, or through corrupt practices. Such accusations require that a specific substantive motion against such a member to be moved for the matters to be properly addressed. Standing Order 101.4, therefore, is a safe mode measure that ensures that members do not make baseless and reckless accusations against their colleagues, and that serious allegations on the conduct of members are properly addressed. Now, Honorable Senators, during his speech, Dr. Boni Halwale MP made comments that imputed improper motive on the Speaker of the Senate and the Speaker of the National Assembly. This inference on the conduct of the speakers cannot be unnoticed, cannot go unnoticed. Honorable senators will note that on several occasions I have ruled senators to be out of order if their comments impute improper motive on their colleagues without a substantive motion. If Senator Dr. Boni Halale MP wanted to discuss the conduct of the speakers, he ought to have filed a substantive motion giving the requisite notice as required under standing orders. In this respect, therefore, I find the comments by Senator Dr. Boni Halale imputing improper motive on the conduct of the Speaker of the Senate and the Speaker of the National Assembly to be out of order for offending Standing Order 101. Honorable Senators, the second issue then that require my determination is whether the point of order by Senator David Wafula MP pursuant to Standing Order 105 to be valid in the context of the debate. Senator Dr. Halwale MP was given an opportunity to table the evidence in support of his claims at the subsequent sitting on Wednesday, 6th of August 2025. However, as highlighted above, his comments ought to have been introduced through a substantive motion. Furthermore, in the context of the debate at hand, the point of order pursuant to Standing Order 105 was a misapplication of the standing orders and the rules of debate. The appropriate point of order under the circumstances ought to have been made pursuant to Standing Order 101, bringing to the attention of the Speaker that Standing Order 101-4 was being breached, and to require Senator Dr. Halwale to file a substantive motion should the Senator wish to bring to question the conduct of the Speakers of the Houses of Parliament. In the circumstances, I find that the point of order by Senator David Wafula MP calling for substantiation of facts from Senator Dr. Halwale MP to be null and void. Consequently, while the evidence tabled by Senator Dr. Halwale was entered into record of the Senate, I find it inadmissible. Going into particulars of evidence without a substantive motion will be a breach of the standing orders. In this respect, I direct that the Office of the Clerk of the Senate returns the material to the Senate. Honorable Senators, as your Speaker, I'm duty-bound to impartially enforce the standing orders. I wish to reiterate that any senator wishing to raise a point of order must observe the requirement of Standing Order number 98. To do so effectively, it is incumbent upon all honorable senators to familiarize themselves with the provisions of the standing orders to avoid misapplication or raising inappropriate points of order. Finally, given the totality of the circumstances that necessitated this communication, I rule that the comments by Senator Dr. Boni Halwale imputing improper motive on the conduct of the Speaker Finally, given the totality of the circumstances that necessitated this communication, I rule that the comments by Senator Dr. Boni Halwale MP imputing improper motive on the conduct of the Speaker of the Senate and the Speaker of the National Assembly to be out of order. I therefore direct that the offending comments by the said Senator be expunged from the record forthwith. It is so guided. Thank you. Senator Hezena. Yes, Senator Enoch.
Speaker, have you seen Senator Karen Nyamo and the way she is dressed today, walking into the house with one side of the jacket worn and the rest hanging loose? Mr. Speaker, you know, this house, we can forgive, there is no problem. But Mr. Speaker, you must enforce rules in this house. Next time I'll walk in, Mr. Speaker, with my jacket hanging on my shoulder, and I will demand that you take precedent of what has happened, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Karen Nyamu, you are out of order for violating the Speaker's rules. You cannot walk into the chamber. Order, Senator Funandi. I'm the one delivering the ruling. In fact, you're guilty as charged. You're the one holding her hands as you're walking in the chamber. Senator Karen Nyamu, I will give you a warning for today. You repeat the same thing, I will have to ask you to leave the chamber. Let us observe the Speaker's rules. Senator Hezana. Yes, Senator for Nairobi City County.
Mr. Speaker, I wanted to make a polite request that perhaps we might need, as members of this House, some guidance on admissibility of evidence. Because I believe this is the second time that a member has attempted to substantiate, but the Speaker has found that that material was not admissible. I myself have fallen victim of that same rule. So I think going forward, so that we don't get into this back and forth about admissibility. I know some of us were students of evidence. Unfortunately, my teacher for the law of evidence was shot in cold blood here in Nairobi. But the late Chia Lombobo taught me the law of evidence. So just for the benefit of some of us, if I am confused, Honorable Speaker, and I am a lawyer, I'm sure farmers like the Honorable Wakwabobi might be struggling just as much as I'm struggling. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Order, Senator for Nairobi City County. If you don't understand and don't appreciate the standing orders, the Honorable Senator that you've just referred to has a firm grip on the standing orders. Her knowledge on the standing orders is unparalleled. That I can confirm. However, Honorable Senator for Nairobi City County, I have distinguished two things in this ruling. That this matter ought not to have gone to the extent of even demanding Senator Boni Halwale to table or to substantiate. The point of order that ought to have been raised is actually the fact that he ought to have brought a substantive motion. And because he never brought a substantive motion, then to that extent he was out of order. And then the matter ought to have rested there. Senator Hezana.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I rise to request a statement on the electrification of Sereolipi in Samburu East, Samburu County. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Energy on a matter of county-wide concern regarding the electrification of Sereolipi in Samburu East constituency, Samburu County. Mr. Speaker, sir, the residents of Sereolipi have raised concerns and made public appeals regarding the lack of electricity connection in their area. While electrification has already reached Lerata, the neighboring community of Sereolipi remains unconnected, leaving schools, health facilities, businesses, and households at a significant disadvantage. In the statement, the committee should address the following. 1. The reasons why Sereolipi has not been connected to the electric power grid despite electrification reaching Lerata. Secondly, the specific timelines within which the Ministry of Energy and the Rural Electrification and Renewable Energy Corporation, which is REREC, plan to extend electricity connection to Sereolipi. Third, the measures being undertaken to ensure equitable access to electricity across the marginalized areas in Samburu East constituency and Samburu County in general. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator for Kisumu County, the Honorable Professor Tom Ojenda.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to seek a statement, 3 statements. Number 1 is on the fire disaster preparedness in informal settlements in Kisumu County. I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on National Security, Defense and Foreign Relations on the matter of countywide concern regarding the status of fire disaster preparedness and response mechanism in informal settlements in Kisumu County. Mr. Speaker, recent fire outbreaks in informal settlements across Kisumu County have caused tragic loss of life, destruction of property, and displacement of families. These settlements, Mr. Speaker, which are densely populated and characterized by unregulated housing, narrow access routes, and informal electricity connections, remain highly vulnerable to fire disasters. The recurring nature of these incidents, Mr. Speaker, underscores the urgent need for strengthened preparedness, prevention, and response mechanisms. In the statement, Mr. Speaker, the Commission should address the following. 1, the number of fire incidents reported in informal settlements in Kisumu County from 2022 to date and the emergency response measures that are taken in each case. 2, the county government's existing fire preparedness and response framework for informal settlements, including the number of functional fire engines, staffing levels, and availability of fire hydrants. 3, whether the county government of Kisumu has identified and mapped high-risk fire zones and the fire prevention sensitization programs or zoning enforcement measures, if any, that are in place. 4, whether the county government has engaged in partnership with the national government, humanitarian actors, or the private sector to strengthen fire disaster response capacity. And lastly, the status of integrating informal settlements into broader urban planning, safety, and disaster management strategies for the county in line with the requirements of the Urban Areas and Cities Act. Mr. Speaker, my second statement is on grounded motor vehicles and machineries in the county government of Kisumu. Mr. Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Finance and Budget on the matter of county-wide concern regarding the considerable number of defective and unserviceable motor vehicles and machinery left grounded in parking yards for extended periods of time by the county government of Kisumu. Mr. Speaker, a review of the Kisumu County Executive Fleet shows that numerous defective and unserviceable vehicles and machinery have remained grounded in parking yards for long periods without disposal, contrary to the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act 2015 and its regulations. The county government has also failed to establish a disposal committee or prepare an annual disposal plan for unserviceable, surplus, or obsolete assets. In the statement, the committee should address the following. 1, the reasons why defective and unserviceable motor vehicles and machinery have remained grounded in the county executive's parking yards for prolonged periods without being disposed of in accordance with Public Procurement and Disposal Act 2015. 2, the measure the county government of Kisumu has taken to establish a disposal committee as prescribed under the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act 2015. 3, the reason for the county government's failure to prepare an annual disposal plan for unserviceable, obsolete, or surplus vehicles and machinery as required by Regulation 176(1) of the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Regulations 2020. And lastly, the timeline for the disposal of the grounded vehicles and machinery and the measures to be put in place to prevent the recurrence of such inefficiencies in the future. My last statement, Mr. Speaker, is on the quality and safety of animal feeds sold in Kisumu County. This is the last one. Mr. Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Agriculture, Livestock and Fisheries on a matter of county-wide concern regarding the quality and safety of animal feed sold in Kisumu County. Livestock mortality and reduced productivity have become a significant problem in Kisumu County that has been attributed to the use of counterfeit, contaminated, and substandard feeds. This threatens the livelihood of farmers and the food security of the county. In the statement, the committee should address the following. 1, the number of licensed animal feed distributors and agro-waste outlets operating in Kisumu County, and the specific dates and findings of routine inspections conducted in financial years 2023 to 2025. 2, whether the county government has any laboratory testing capacity or partnership with national agencies such as CALRO or the Veterinary Services Directorate to detect and monitor feed quality, including the presence of contaminants like aflatoxin within the local market. 3, the specific actions taken by the county government, the Kenya Bureau of Standards, KEBS, or Veterinary Directorate against suppliers found selling counterfeit, contaminated, or substandard feeds within Kisumu County, including the number of prosecutions and licenses revoked. 4, the measures put in place to sensitize livestock farmers in the identification of risks and associated with unsafe and regulated feeds, and the mechanisms through which farmers can report suspected cases. And lastly, Mr. Speaker, the actions being taken, including regulatory, administrative, or legislative interventions within Kisumu County, to implement and ensure full protection of farmers and livestock-dependent households against ongoing threat of feed-related contamination and financial loss. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator from Busia County, Senator Omtata.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I have 4 statements. I request to read all of them together. My first statement is on the plight of contractual teachers serving in northeastern Kenya. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53 Clause 1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Education on a matter of nationwide concern regarding the plight of young contractual teachers serving in northeastern Kenya and the challenges they face in their quest for absorption into permanent and pensionable PNP employment under the Teacher Service Commission, the TSC. Mr. Speaker, sir, young contractual teachers deployed in northeastern Kenya despite sustaining education in this hardship region continue to face grave injustices, including a lack of formal contracts, job insecurity, unequal pay, poor working conditions, delayed salaries, and career stagnation. Many have served diligently for years without appointment letters, are excluded from allowances and trainings, work under insecure conditions without adequate support, and suffer mental and emotional strain. The Teacher Service Commission has failed to formally recognize their existence, despite records confirming there are more than 300 contractual teachers deployed in the northeastern and coast regions. These practices breach the Employment Act, the Teacher Service Commission Act, and the Constitution of Kenya, thereby undermining their right to fair labor practices, equality, dignity as provided for under Articles 27 and 41 of the Constitution. In the statement, the committee should address the following: the reasons behind failure by the Teacher Service Commission to issue written contracts to contractual teachers as required under the Employment Act 2007. 2, the measures in place by the Teacher Service Commission to guarantee equality in pay, allowances, training opportunities, and career progression between contractual and permanent teachers performing similar work. 3, the steps taken by the Ministry of Education to ensure that contractual teachers deployed in hardship areas are provided with adequate security, logistical support, and psychosocial services. 4, timelines within which the TSC intends to develop and implement a clear, transparent, and consistent policy for absorbing contractual teachers into permanent and pensionable terms of service. 5, the accountability measures to be taken against the Teacher Service Commission leadership for denying the existence of contractual teachers despite the existence of evidence of their deployment. Senator Omtata Koiti, MP, Senator from Busia. My second statement is on the plight of the staff engaged through the Global Fund to support the tuberculosis TB program. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53 Clause 1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Health on a matter of nationwide concern regarding the plight of the staff under the Ministry of Health who are engaged through the Global Fund to support the tuberculosis program. Mr. Speaker, sir, in 2009, the Ministry of Health, with support from the Global Fund, engaged Human Resource for Health, brackets, HRH officers, mainly medical laboratory technologists and clinical officers, on annual contracts to strengthen Kenya's tuberculosis response, with a clear commitment that they would be absorbed into permanent and pensionable terms once donor support ended. However, despite repeated reminders, written commitments and directives from the Public Service Commission, the Ministry of Health has failed to honor this promise, leaving officers who have served diligently for more than 15 years unpaid for more than 13 months and excluded from the government payroll, even as their national government colleagues have been regularized. This neglect not only amounts to a grave injustice against dedicated health professionals, but also threatens the continuity of essential TB services that are a matter of urgent public health concern. In the statement, the committee should address the following. 1, the concrete measures the Ministry of Health has undertaken to honor its commitment to absorb the global fund-supported TB program staff into permanent and pensionable terms of service as per the Public Service Commission directives. The reasons the Ministry of Health failed to implement its own directives of 2nd July 2025, requiring the inclusion of these officers on the government payroll, outlining the steps being taken by the Ministry to settle the accrued salary arrears owed to the affected officers, some of whom have gone without pay for more than 13 months. The budgetary provisions within the Ministry of Health and the National Treasury that guarantee the continued employment and remuneration of these officers from 1st July 2025 onwards. The government's overall policy and long-term framework for absorbing donor-supported health workers, not only in the TB program, but also in HIV, malaria, and other critical health initiatives to ensure sustainability, equity, and accountability in the health sector. Senator Omtato Koiti MP, Senator from Busia County. My third statement is on claims of corruption, abuse of office, and endangerment of public safety at Mbagathi County Referral Hospital. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53, Clause 1, to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Health regarding claims of corruption, abuse of office, and endangerment of public safety at the Mbagathi County Referral Hospital. Mr. Speaker, sir, the Mbagathi County Referral Hospital, established in 1956 and being regarded as a lifeline for the poor and vulnerable in Nairobi and beyond, is today plagued by gross mismanagement and systemic rot that gravely compromise patient care and staff safety. Allegations include the abuse of the medical bill waiver facility, where facilitation fees are extorted from indigent patients, intimidation and threats against staff and whistleblowers, some of whom have died under mysterious circumstances, and the illegal collection of parking fees, whose revenues are reportedly diverted for personal gain. These malpractices not only exploit vulnerable patients and instill fear among staff, but also amount to the misappropriation of public resources in violation of the Constitution the Public Finance Management Act, and the Leadership and Integrity Act. In the statement, the committee should address the following. 1, alleged abuse of the medical bill waiver facility at the Magathi County Referral Hospital, including the involvement of the hospital staff management in the said malpractice. 2, the veracity of allegations of threats and intimidation against staff and patients and their families, and indicates the measures in place to guarantee the safety and protection of whistleblowers. 3, an audit of collection of parking fees at the said hospital, determining whether the process was followed, whether due process was followed in the introduction of the charges, and clarify how the funds collected are utilized. 4, the mechanisms the Ministry of Health has put in place to monitor and ensure the proper administration of the medical bill waiver facility in public hospitals across the country. Whether the ministry conducts regular audits and inspections of public hospitals, specifying when the Magathi County Referral Hospital was last audited and inspected. My final statement is on the plight of nursing interns whose internship placements were unlawfully revoked. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53, Clause 1, to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Health on a matter of nationwide concern regarding the plight of 306 nursing officer interns whose internship placements were unlawfully revoked by the ministry. Mr. Speaker, sir, on 30th June 2025, the Cabinet Secretary for Health, the Honorable Aden Duale, posted over 6,000 medical interns, including 2,098 nurses, who reported their stations. A month later, he abruptly revoked the placement of 306 interns, citing failure to attend graduation ceremonies, which is a new discriminatory requirement that contradicts established practices where university completion letters surface. Internship is a statutory requirement, and the 306 interns had already been verified by their universities, the Nursing Council of Kenya, and the Ministry of Health. Yet their placements were cancelled without prior notice, explanation, or hearing, thereby raising concerns of non-compliance with constitutional provisions on fair administrative action as provided for in Article 47 and 232, as well as the Fair Administrative Action Act of 2015, and the right to education. The decision has rendered them jobless, denied them the opportunity to obtain practicing licenses, and further strained hospitals already facing staff shortages. In the statement, the committee should address the following: the legal or policy framework that informed the revocation of internship placements for the 306 nursing officer interns, and the basis for introducing graduation attendance as a new eligibility requirement. Whether the Ministry of Health consulted the Nursing Council of Kenya, universities, or other stakeholders before making the decision, and indicate the legal requirement for internship under the Nursing Council of Kenya Act. Whether the said interns had successfully completed their degree requirements and were issued with Senate-approved compliance letters, as well as the support being provided by universities to their graduates affected by the revocation. 4, measures being taken to reinstate the affected interns, to protect their constitutional rights, and whether the Ministry of Health will compensate them for the professional harm suffered due to the revocation. Omtato Koiti MP, Senator from Busia. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Statements pursuant to Standing Order 56(1)B. The Chairperson, Standing Committee on Energy. Yes, on energy.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 56(1)B to make a statement on the activities of the Standing Committee on Energy for the third quarter of the fourth session, covering the period commencing 1st May to 31st August 2025. Mr. Speaker, sir, during the period under review, the committee held a total of 23 sittings. Attached to this statement is a schedule of the legislative business considered by the committee. Mr. Speaker, sir, during the period under review, the committee considered and concluded 5 statements, and 7 statements are pending consideration by the committee. Responses on the pending statements have been forwarded to the relevant senators and are awaiting consideration by the committee. The committee has initiated a bill, the Energy Amendment Bill 2023, Senate Bill number 11, to amend the Energy Act 2019 to delete Section 223, which prohibits public entities, including county governments, from imposing levies on public energy infrastructure without approval by the Cabinet Secretary. Mr. Speaker, so number 5, the committee has initiated an inquiry into the oil spill at Thange ward following reports of increased cases of diabetes, liver and kidney diseases among residents after the 2015 spill from a Kenya pipeline company pipeline. It resolved to form multi-agency task force to investigate and report within 30 days. The committee also directed the Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Health, to issue a statutory notice to KPC under Section 118 of the Public Health Act, requiring compliance with health regulations and addressing non-compliance, including withholding financial resources. Mr. Speaker, sir, on an inquiry regarding the handing over of a mass cooking gas handling facility to Ashrami Energy, the committee is reviewing the Ministry of Energy and Pipelines legal compliance and seeks clarification on specific legal provisions used. It will meet with the National Treasury to confirm if all public-private partnership requirements were met. Mr. Speaker, sir, during a county visit to Mombasa, the committee engaged with the Kenya Maritime Authority on maritime oil pollution risks from tanker ships, inspecting oil routes and the port. The committee noted 500 tank trips annually, transporting 500 million tons of oil. the committee urged stronger environmental management enforcement and coordination to prevent and respond to pollution. Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee conducted a county visit to Kisumu. The committee met energy stakeholders and toured oil and power facilities, finding 68% electricity connectivity with gaps in informal settlements and underfunded last-mile projects. High street lighting costs and slow solar conversions due to budget limits were noted, along with delays in devolving petroleum station licensing and security concerns on Nkrumah Road near Kenya Pipeline Depot. Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee held a meeting with the Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Energy and Petroleum to address critical energy policy and project challenges raised by counties and the private sector. Key issues included street lighting arrears, delayed energy subsidies, public-private partnership risks, nuclear energy feasibility, and flagship projects like South Lokichar. The committee also discussed concerns over Kenya Pipeline partial privatization and potential Ruby's acquisition of National Oil Corporation of Kenya. Mr. Speaker, sir, in the previous session, the committee concluded an inquiry into the supply and delivery of smart meters. This inquiry seeks to promote local production of smart meters, amend the duration of framework agreements, and ensure smart meters are integrated into the electricity installations. These measures aim to reduce electricity costs, decrease KPLC's monopoly, and improve efficiency in the sector. The committee adopted its report on 26 March 2025. Mr. Speaker, the committee visited Wajir to assess the local energy challenges and found it disconnected from the national grid, relying on local power generation. This has increased energy insecurity and hindered economic growth. Mr. Speaker, sir, can I put on my glasses? Yes. Let me see if it can help. This has increased energy insecurity and hindered economic growth. The committee recommends to the Ministry of Energy and Petroleum to prioritize off-grid marginalized counties like Wajir in future power transmission projects to ensure equitable electricity access. Mr. Speaker, sir, in the coming quarter, the committee will conclude on its inquiry into the 2015 Kenya Pipeline Company oil spill into Ribathange and the inquiry into the transfer of gas mass handling facility at to Ashrami Energies under a 31-year lease agreement. The committee will meet the Ministry of Energy to review plans for distributing LPG cylinders and accessories to 9.6 million low-income households and public facilities, noting missed targets in 2023-2024, especially in informal settlements and public schools. 14, the committee is planning a county visit to Siaya to assess the proposed nuclear energy plant site, part of Kenya's pursuit of nuclear power as a suitable long-term energy source following earlier feasibility studies in Kilifi. Mr. Speaker, sir, I wish to thank your office for the support accorded to the committee in undertaking its work. I also wish to acknowledge the Secretariat support that the committee has received from the Office of the Clerk. Lastly, I wish to commend the members of the committee for their commitment, diligence, and dedication to work and mandate of the committee. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
The Chairperson, Standing Committee on Finance and Budget. Honorable Senator for Mombasa.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I stand in for my chair, Senator Roba, who has a problem with his vocals. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order number 56(1)B to make a statement relating to the activities of the Standing Committee on Finance Budget for the first quarter of the fourth session, covering the period April to August 2025. During the period under review, the committee held 30 sittings, during which it processed and concluded 31 statements, considered 5 key bills, 4 of which allocate funds to counties to ensure efficient service delivery by devolved units, and tabled 6 reports. Attached to the statement is a schedule of the legislative business considered by the committee and their status. Mr. Speaker, sir, during the period under review, the committee processed and tabled reports on the Division of Revenue Bill 2025, National Assembly Bills number 10 of 2025, County Allocation of Revenue Bill, CARA 2025, Senate Bill number 9 of 2025, Equalization Fund Appropriation 2025, Senate Bill number 7, Bills number 7 of 2025, County Government's Additional Allocation number 2, Bill 2025, Senate Bills number 8 of 2025, and County Wards Equitable Development Bill 2024, Senate Bills number 20 of 2024. Mr. Speaker, sir, further, the committee held joint sittings with the National Assembly Departmental Committee on Finance and National Planning to undertake the approval hearing of Mr. Pius Angasa for appointment as a member of the board of the Central Bank of Kenya, which report was approved by this House. Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee held a meeting with the Cabinet Secretary, National Treasury and Economic Planning. During this meeting, matters on public debt were discussed, including total public debt, the external debt, domestic debt, and sustainable strategies put in place to reduce the high cost of living in the country. The Cabinet Secretary submitted that as at 30th of June 2025, the stock of public debt was Kenya shillings 11.81 trillion, translating to 67% of the GDP. That the public debt comprises of 6.33 trillion domestic debt and 5.49 trillion external debt. The external debt comprised of 3.05 trillion multilateral debt, 1.11 trillion bilateral debt. China accounts for 0.0653 trillion, that is 59% of the external debt, and of the bilateral debt, and 1.32 trillion commercial debt. Domestic debt comprised of Kenya shillings 5.11 trillion treasury bonds, that is 80%, and Kenya shillings 1.04 trillion treasury bills, and Kenya shillings 0.18 trillion overdraft from the central bank, IMF funds on lent to government and business and bank advances. Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee sought public views on legislative business, including the bills and the appointment of nominee to the Central Bank of Kenya Board of Directors through advertisement in 2 national newspapers and other social media platforms. Mr. Speaker, sir, in processing the statements, the committee followed the newly agreed upon mechanism of presenting the senators with responses as soon as they are received from the relevant stakeholders. The senator is required to indicate any issues that require clarification within 14 days. Otherwise, the statement is deemed concluded. A list of statements processed by the committee is annexed to this statement. Mr. Speaker, sir, during the period under review, the committee undertook 2 county visits to Kitui County to deliberate on the status of pending bills in Kitui County, and to Kisii County to deliberate on the status of pending bills in Kisii County.